What's that?
Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Path. Sorry I've not been around for a while. For the last 2 weeks, I've been touring Scotland. Me, two tents, and a dog. 1,400 miles. Well, I've been facing the weather, facing all the elements, heavy wind, rain. The people have been absolutely awesome. But part of my early part of my journey, I actually visited near Edinburgh. And I actually met up with Eileen, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I want to thank you for your hospitality,
Oh, it was a great pleasure to finally meet you.
like because it's the thing, isn't it? Like you chat to people on social media, but then when you meet people, it's like you already know them,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
and it is so special, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So yeah, I
And
really
it's quite nice that the person you see is like the person that you've had dealings with.
yeah.
Because sometimes it's quite disappointing. You think you know
Oh, for
somebody and
sure,
you can have
for sure.
quite a lot of dealings with somebody, and when you come to meet them you think, oh dear.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi Mandy.
With me, it's what you see is what you get. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, that's the best way to be, Jacqueline.
And you're natural as well. And
Well, I
it's
hope
nice to
so.
meet Nicola and
Uh-huh.
the lady who does the ghost walks as well,
Lynn.
Lynn, and
Mm-hmm.
and Tommy. And
Uh-huh.
Tommy was absolutely brilliant. I've got a dog who gets a bit nervous with things, and straight away Tommy looked after my dog while I struggled up the hills around a castle. So yeah,
It's very good for dogs.
it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, and yeah, my boy misses him. Well, my dog
Ah,
is worn out.
ah.
So we went to. The thing is about Scotland, it is such a fantastic place. You've got such a change of scenery. You've got the big cities, obviously. You've got
Mm-hmm.
Glasgow, Edinburgh. You've got castles everywhere. You've got a lot of abandoned churches as well.
We have far too many to talk about.
Yeah,
Every corner you turn, there's like a pile of broken stone, or from
yeah.
somewhere. Uh-huh.
The state.
It's mostly where you terrible English people have come up and torn them down.
Is that the one?
Uh-huh. You horrible English people.
Yeah, very horrible, aren't we? But like everyone was so lovely to us as well.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm very pleased that you had a good experience, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I really did. Yeah, I think the grumpiest person was a woman in the campsite, and that was in England. So, what can you say? She was
Oh
like
well,
a she devil.
give you
That,
something to talk about, doesn't it?
that scared me. But yeah, so I went to try and find the Loch Ness Monster as well.
Did you find it?
No, no, I
No.
didn't.
Oh,
Why
a
didn't he
shame.
show up for me? I'm just so disappointed that Leslie didn't show. But I did actually speak to a guy who sort of gave up his 9 to 5 job about 30 plus years ago
Uh-huh. Oh,
to
he's been there for
find the
years,
bag.
that guy.
I know. I
Been
met
there
him
for years.
about 30 years ago
It
when he
will
first
be.
moved there. Yeah.
When he first arrived there, Jacqueline, cat's moving about. When he first arrived, he didn't have the setup that he's got now. He
Yeah.
was living in like a tiny little shack,
Yeah,
out the
I
back of his
went.
car. Oh, did you go then?
Yeah,
And
I went there back in the day.
oh, did you go
Like,
there?
yeah,
It was
about
nothing
30
in
years
it. I mean,
ago. Yeah.
it was as if he'd woken up one day and thought, "Oh, I quite fancy going to Loch Ness," and he wasn't sort of prepared for the actual practicalities of it all.
Yeah.
But he's been there for such a long time, and he's got a proper little cottage industry going now, hasn't he?
He has. He does little nesses.
All these
So
little
he
wooden
did
messes.
then.
Uh-huh.
So he makes these little clay little
Uh-huh.
nesses, and I bought one like 30 years ago, and I've got one now, which is
You've got a little
absolutely
family,
awesome. Yeah, so I've got another one.
a little family
Um,
of monsters.
oh, we've got Terry.
Hello, Terry.
Terry's Rocky's babysitter.
Oh,
So,
you're
uh,
Tommy's competition.
yeah, Tommy's
Uh-huh.
competition. So yeah, and welcome, Alison.
Hello,
But
Alison.
yeah, Scotland, it was just a fantastic experience. And,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I had to brave the elements, but that's
Uh-huh.
Scotland, doesn't it?
Well, we were very fortunate that we got some good weather when you had your day out with us, but
Yeah,
you faced some terrible weather afterwards, didn't you?
yeah, I did.
Mhm.
I was actually in a tent, so I had two tents, and one of them was inflatable. and it did struggle to like stand up at one stage.
So
Well,
you tied it to the tree.
yeah, tied it to a tree, 49 miles an hour, 49 mile an hour winds, and yeah, I tied it. These two guys just came over after laughing at me for an hour. And they tied it to the train. It's like it worked.
Well, I don't think that was in the Brownie handbook.
No, but it's awesome. So I ended up with a free training rein for my boy, my dog. So yeah, it's all good, isn't it? Hi, Anne.
Very good. Very
Oh,
good.
hit me well, yeah. Just been touring really, Andy. So the internet's been dodgy and everything, and I've got loads of footage to share as well. And I've been out and out about with some fabulous people, and yeah, put it this way, it wouldn't take off with my weight in it, Mandy. Come on. Blimey, can you imagine? But then again, we've got a storm beginning with A. That's coming here on Wednesday.
Agnes, I think they're calling it, aren't they? Agnes.
Yeah, but I thought we'd already had storms, so I don't know how we're starting on A again. That's confused me a bit, because I thought we'd got up to something else.
I think sometimes you get very minor ones and they still give them a name. So
yeah, but we're starting on A, but really? Is that the first storm? But
I mean, we've got weather warnings here as well, so
yeah, most of the country actually. It's going to be very windy on Wednesday. So
I had to take down the hanging baskets because we were blowing out about so badly.
Oh my gosh!
So
yeah.
Down.
But when I met up with you, you took me to a beautiful castle. So a lot of the castles are actually shut at the moment, aren't they?
Oh, Tantallon, yes. An awful lot of the historic Scotland castles have been closed since the pandemic. They say it's for repairs and inspection, but who can tell? They shut them down. They don't appear to be doing much to them, although at Tantallon they did have some scaffolding up. But it's a bit of a bone of contention in Scotland at the moment that so many of the historic Scotland sites are completely fenced off. You can't get anywhere near them. And there's just general inactivity around them. And,
that is such a shame.
It's causing quite a bit of ill feeling up here, to be quite honest. Especially for the people that paid their annual subscription to be members of Historic Scotland, and then all of a sudden they were told, well, can't go anywhere.
I looked at getting a week's membership, and that was about 40 quid or something.
It's not worth it till everywhere's open up again. We had the National Trust membership because back in the day that was a better deal because Historic Scotland wasn't so widespread. It was more National Trust.
Yeah.
It's increasingly now Historic Scotland, but at the moment there are very, very few locations open, and the ones that are, as in Tantallon, they're restricted. You can go to some areas.
Yeah.
However, did you see Strictly Come Dancing on Saturday?
No.
It started with them dancing at Tantallon Castle.
Really? Oh, wow.
Go on to iPlayer.
Oh, I will do.
And all outside, before we went over the little bridge and went in, and down that pathway that we walked to go back to the car, all these Strictly Come Dancing people are giving it this.
How beautiful.
You see, that looks like Tantallon Castle. What is Tantallon?
I couldn't watch it because I've got iPlayer. I can watch it on my phone. I was actually in England and they didn't have any internet whatsoever.
Well, that's a shame, but it's on iPlayer. You only have to watch the first 10 minutes and then that's it.
Oh, wow.
But Tantallon Castle, and the strange thing is, they had them all leaping about outside the castle and they didn't say where it was at all.
Oh, it's a shame because
it went to the studio to Tess Daly and Claudia, and not once did they say, "Oh, well, that was Tantallon Castle," or "Wasn't that nice?" It just like it never happened.
Oh wow!
But it was nice. It was really nice.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. But it was such a special castle, and it had a fantastic viewpoint as well. Mm-hmm. You're at this castle. I am going to post photos. I am going to post details of all the locations I've been to. If there's any history or ghost stories, I'll add them. We did actually get a ghost story, didn't we, from the guy? One of the You've already heard something similar.
Yeah, The time that we were there before, pre-pandemic, they told us the same story. Because strictly speaking, they don't encourage sort of spooky
No.
people like us going
Oh, you
in.
can't. No, you
So you're
can't have
kind of
cats.
surreptitiously there with your cat balls and your K2s and things, doing a
Yes.
wee bit. But you attract quite a bit of attention,
Yes.
And on the way out, we got stopped and they said, "Oh, will you look? Did you find anything?" And we thought we were going to get banished, you
Yeah.
terrible people. But they were
Get the
really
dogs
interested
out.
in asking if we'd found anything. And we said, yes, we did, in the same room that we had the activity.
Yeah.
And they got talking and we had said, have you ever experienced anything as a guide here? And, excuse me, they said the same thing, that they had heard the noise in the Douglas Tower, which is the accommodation tower at the far end above what was the Great Hall. They'd heard like steel gates slamming, doors slamming, but I mean, there's nothing like that there now. But they could hear like the slamming of metal gates and footsteps going up and down the stone stairs.
Yeah.
They could hear that.
Yeah, when I was speaking to the guy, obviously he sort of mentions the same thing as well, didn't he? And
Mm-hmm.
that
He
was
said the
quite a
same
few
thing.
years on. So
That's right.
it is fascinating when you go to like a historic location like that castle, which is not too far off Forfar, is it? Where
Oh,
Kaz is
no,
from.
no.
So Kaz is from Forfar, Scotland.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and she's just back from a tour of the Highlands. So am
Uh-huh.
I as well. I've just I popped up to Culloden
Mm-hmm.
and around that area. Well, that was the highest point I got to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to Glencoe.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful campsite up there. Very wild. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope
Mm-hmm.
you had a great trip, Kaz. It's just a stunning location, isn't it? Well, there's so much variety in Scotland, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
There is.
cities. You've got all the history of like Edinburgh, which I've got to actually go to.
Well, next time we come back, Tommy can babysit the dog,
Yeah,
and we'll go in.
yeah, we'll go to Edinburgh.
We'll take the train and have a day in town.
Yeah,
Show
but
you around.
when we did go to that castle, we did actually get some activity, didn't we? We got
We
the
did.
cat ball out.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
K2 was going off as well, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. We got a
So,
fair bit. I've put them on the page.
oh
They're
yeah,
on the Phantom
yeah.
Seekers page.
I filmed it as well, didn't I?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I've got so
Go
much
through.
footage to go through.
Uh-huh.
I've just got to get myself organised one day.
Well, if
But
anybody wants to look at it, the footage is on the Phantom Seekers Paranormal page.
yeah,
There's
and
two or three clips.
it is a brilliant page. And
Thank you.
yeah, that's how I meet Eileen. And Eileen every morning says, "Morning, everyone,"
Mm-hmm.
don't you?
I do.
Hiya.
Hello, Carl.
And we've got Kazos in Loch Lomond up to Fort William. I went by Fort William and then the Isle of Skye. I avoided Isle of Skye this time because last time I went, it disappointed me because it was just so cloudy and misty.
Mm-hmm.
And I do photography and I couldn't even get any photos apart from grey ones. And
that's always been my experience at the Isle of Skye. It's been empty. It's been closed. Hello, Nicola. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. Sending healing to you. Hope you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Liam watching as well. Hi, Liam.
Hello, Liam. Hi, Liam.
Hello. But yeah, it's just a fascinating trip. And to go to when we were going to the castle, we went by the church where the Scottish flag was discovered, really.
No, dreamed up. Or invented. I don't know what the word would be. Created.
Yeah.
He had a vision in the sky. He saw the white clouds against the blue background of the sky, and that's how the Scottish flag was won. That was Athelstaneford.
Yeah, and it's weird because I did get a photo of what looked like a Scottish flag in the sky as well. That was that just before then?
It was just after.
It was just after. So we go to this graveyard, which is where they did the Scottish flag. Where they founded it, basically. And a very interesting place. Once again, I've got loads of photos. And yeah, to then get an image of what looks like a cross in the sky It was just
Mm-hmm.
astonishing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But like your gravestones as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some great markings on, haven't they?
They have, particularly the very old ones, the ones that you
That's
can still
right.
read. Some of them are really interesting. You could spend hours and hours and hours just walking around these very ancient graveyards.
Yeah,
Um,
but they've got symbols on them as well.
yes,
You know, the photos, I've got photos of skulls and angels and things
Don't
like
you
that.
have that? Don't you have that down there?
No,
You don't? No. I mean,
we
I've
don't.
lived down south for a great number of years, but I wasn't in the habit of walking around graveyards at that time, so I've never
No,
noticed.
no,
But
because you.
it's quite common practice up here. We have, and again, I'm harping back to my page again. I put some interesting links on not so long
You
ago
did.
about the symbolism on gravestones.
Yeah,
They all
but
mean very different things.
it was just fascinating. It really was.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I've just got loads of photos of gravestones.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I spent a lot of time in graveyards or kirks, as you call it.
Kirk,
I don't know
Kirkyard,
why.
Kirk, Kirk. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there were a lot of schools and the crossbones, but yeah, it's just so fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've just got loads of photos of like all these like
The
images, and
cherubs and this.
it's just
There's so many
wonderful.
of them.
But
So
we
many
went
of them.
to the old kirk in Temple as well,
Uh-huh.
which was
Uh-huh.
named for the Knights Templars, wasn't it?
That's right. It was the home to the Knights Templar when they came to Scotland. They were gifted a parcel of land, and they built a little kind of monastery, not the one you see there
Yeah,
today. That came sometime later. But they were gifted a parcel of land, and they built a little kind of little churchy type monastery type thing. Which the remains are still standing in that area somewhere, but we've yet to find them.
yeah,
And that was the home to the Knights Templar in Scotland
yeah.
for
It's
the few
so
hundred years that they
stunning.
lasted.
It's by a river as well, wasn't it?
Yes, right down the very bottom is a little stream. Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I went to Loudenkirk as well, and that's right by a river. So I don't know if it was standard to put churches by rivers in Scotland.
Oh, I don't know. I've never thought about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but actually, yes, because I went to another one as well. It was a fort, and it's just after I went to yours. There was there's a hill fort, there was a river, there's a church as well. Okay, the whistle is probably a bird. I've got a cockatiel and he's just come home today. So he's been away on his holidays, and sorry if there's any interference. I've got some sort of feedback going off and I don't know why. So if you do hear that, I don't know. But if you've got any questions about Scotland, Eileen knows the stuff, definitely.
I don't know. Some things.
You do. You're so knowledgeable about history.
Some of them.
I think it certainly helps with the energies, the water.
Well,
It?
yes, they do say that, don't they? They do
How
say.
it's high, isn't it? And oh
Uh-huh.
wow, my last campsite. A lot of the campsites I went to had water by them. Like if I wasn't on a hill above the sea in Rosemarkie, I was actually by a river. I went to where the Brontes were in Haworth. So I went to a campsite near there as well. And oh gosh, all night the river was that loud. So,
the only thing also up here, they can attract the midges.
Yeah, actually.
At night time.
Didn't get bit by anything in Scotland.
You didn't?
No, not one bite, not one nasty midge.
Oh.
England? Oh no, the woman who ran the campsite was a bit frosty.
She didn't bite you though?
But the midges did. I've got about 30 bites on my feet.
Have you?
Yeah. Shocking. You can do dot to dot.
Oh.
You could do dot to dot and draw a midge.
Oh, okay.
It's awful.
Oh, don't scratch.
That's what I'm doing at the moment.
Well, try not to scratch, or you can make them horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, so I toured Scotland, that one midge bite, and at times I did get them, but they weren't like the biting midges like you get in Sky. So it's clouds in Sky. You get a cloud of these flying things, and they just engulf you, just all bite you. Horrible, but I didn't encounter anything
Yum,
yum,
English blood.
Oh gosh, they're horrible. I certainly didn't encounter the bitey kind.
Oh, well, that's good. That's
So
good.
yeah.
How did you get on up at Culloden, Jacqueline? How did you feel up
Oh
at Culloden?
wow. Oh God, Dot, yeah. Dotty, yeah, no. Dot to Dot. I'll have to see if I can draw an image and put a picture on. I'm rubbish at drawing though, so there you go. Culloden, yeah, what can I say? I've got loads of photos, I've got a bit of footage as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just hard, isn't it? I found it a bit restrictive. I got a dog.
Aye.
So
Oh,
I actually went to a stone just after that. Right next door to Culloden was this great big stone. And I pulled in just to get a photo. Oh, I'm just having a good scratch, Jeanette. Oh, sorry. And they've got this great big stone right near Culloden. And there's some guys there from the um, Scottish Trust. What are they? And I sort of said, I've just been to Culloden. They say, what do you think about it? I says, well, actually, I found it, even though it's dog friendly, you could take a dog around it, and it was great to walk. I didn't know any of the history. So there are some markings along the way, what you can
mhm.
read, and it says, you've got the line of the Jacobites, and then you've got the line which shows where the government soldiers were. And there's not a big difference between the two,
No,
which was
no, there's
quite,
not.
oh gosh, oh dear,
It's quite eerie though when you consider the
it's
vast amount of bodies that are lying there, and they're not
shocking,
six
isn't
feet
it?
under,
Well,
and
you see
bits and pieces and
the little
bones find their way to the
mounds.
surface, and they still do.
Oh yeah, and you see the little mounds as well, don't
Uh-huh,
you? And you've got all the clans,
uh-huh,
and you've got the gravestones with the clans, and all close together.
mhm.
And then just before you get there, you've got the English are in this field somewhere.
Who cares about that?
Yeah, and it's like there's one side saying, "Oh, by the way, the English are there," and
Uh-huh,
then when it comes to the other bit, oh, these are the MacLeods.
uh-huh, uh-huh,
Yeah,
uh-huh,
you've got all the gravestones showing all the different clans who,
uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
oh gosh, the number of deaths, it was
Oh, it's
69.
horrendous.
It's just
It,
shocking, isn't it?
absolutely horrendous. Carnage, complete carnage.
Yeah,
Complete carnage in it. But I found it, well, it's some years now since I've been up there, but it really struck me when I went there. It really affected me. I felt, oh, it was really spooky. It was
yeah,
so quiet, it was loud, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
The silence was screaming.
It was quiet, and
Uh-huh.
there's a little robin hanging around.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
So when I sort of went to where the Scottish gravestones go,
uh-huh.
can't
The
talk.
clan markers are. Uh-huh,
Yeah, where you've got the clan markers. There's a little robin there, and you thought that was
uh-huh,
really poignant, and
uh-huh,
it
uh-huh.
was right, wasn't it?
Did you go into the little bothy
I
that
didn't.
had been the field hospital?
I went into the first building. There's a little cottage thing. I went in
Uh-huh,
there. So
uh-huh.
yeah, I managed to get in there. But
That had been the field hospital. That had been where they took the
yeah,
wounded
'cause
in.
I snuck in there with the dog. It's like I
Uh-huh,
don't know if I should be in here, so I had a quick look
uh-huh,
about,
uh-huh,
you know.
uh-huh.
But the one thing was, and I did tell them that with having a dog, it'd be nice if I had a kiosk, because what they were doing, they've got these handheld things, which
You
basically
can't hold a dog and listen to that at the same time.
you can.
No, with
Got
difficulty.
two hands, haven't you?
Uh-huh, well,
One hand for that and one hand for the dog. It's all right, sorted, used to it. But yeah, if they've got a kiosk outside where you can actually get these little things where it gives you the history, so you go to
mm-hmm,
a point and it gives you the history,
mm-hmm,
that would have been really useful, because I
mm-hmm,
don't think I didn't get the full information, and it's a
uh-huh,
shame, really. Yeah,
uh-huh,
there were markers, and it did
uh-huh.
tell you certain
Was
things,
there
and
not a guide? Was there not a guide there?
he,
Sometimes they have guides in costume there
I
that'll take
saw
you.
him, yeah, but
Uh-huh,
I was going around a different direction.
right.
So
Uh-huh,
yeah, I did see him towards the end. I've actually got a
uh-huh,
photo of him. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
'cause he's got his kilt on and everything. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I noticed that. And also, there's an American guy. He'd come over, and he'd been learning to use the bagpipes.
Mm.
So he actually got his bagpipes out where
Yeah.
there's a great big memorial thing, isn't there? The
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
building. And he got his bagpipes out there and he's playing a tune. So as
Oh.
I was approaching it, it was just like,
Mm.
it was so beautiful. He's,
Mm.
played a number of the Scottish, bagpipe ones.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
It depends how good a bagpipe player he was, of
It,
course.
well, I thought it was all right, but obviously
He
you're.
didn't sound like a cat being
Oh no,
strangled.
no, you could actually tell the tune. Yeah, you could name the tune.
It's a
But
lovely sound when it's played well.
yeah,
When it's not, it's not particularly pleasant.
he did well then.
Oh, that's good.
You could name the tune,
That's
put it that
nice.
way.
Oh well, that's good.
So yeah, I've actually got footage of that. But
Mm-hmm.
there's so many places in Scotland, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did want to go to Culloden. That was the northernmost point of my
Mm-hmm.
visit, and I'm glad I went. I really did.
Uh-huh.
But just to try and understand how many were slaughtered, really,
No, you can't.
and
You
it was
can't
just
really.
so close to the ground,
You
wasn't it?
can't. Uh-huh. And like I said, they still get sort of bones and things popping up,
Wow.
things backing up to the surface. So it
Yeah.
is a war. It is a war grave. It's one big
Yeah,
war grave.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a certain spot there as well where there's a little tablet. It sort of says, "Just read this and have a moment of reflection."
Uh-huh.
It's a moment where you just have silence there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just to think about what happened. And
Mm-hmm.
people hear about Culloden, but you don't actually know the reality until you
No.
you
Well, it
look
must
into
have been
it.
her. I tell you, I'm glad I was not alive in these days because I don't
Oh
think I would have worn very well.
no!
It was the tough times, very,
Well,
very
yeah.
hard
Well,
times to go through. It's not all like Outlander on the telly.
you know what? I've never seen it, and a
You've
lot of
never seen Outlander?
no, a lot of the places I've visited, people are going, "Oh, this is Outlander." Is
Uh-huh,
it? I
uh-huh,
don't know.
uh-huh.
Like, said,
A
"Oh, did
lot
you
of
see
people
Outlander?"
make a very good living out of Outlander in Scotland now, doing
Yeah,
Outlander tours and such like.
I
Uh-huh.
think
I
Robbie
don't
Cross.
think there's a castle in Scotland that Outlander did not film at, to be quite honest.
Okay, I
They've
think
been
Robbie
everywhere.
Crossan was actually in Outlander as well. As an
Sorry?
extra, Robbie Crossan.
Robbie was in that. He was in
Yeah,
several of the episodes. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But
But then again, it was like all the guides that we met at Tantallon, they'd all been in it as well.
okay.
Uh-huh. And any male with a beard between the ages of 17 and 50 have been in Outlander.
Okay. That's brilliant. I love it. Yeah.
It's worth watching. It's a very much a romanticized kind of, portrayal
Oh,
of what went on, but it's worth
I
watching.
always, yeah. That's right.
Jamie, Jamie, Jamie.
Oh, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I am really glad I went. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there weren't many birds there. Like, and it did feel strange. It really
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
It's worth
but
going to. And then you went, oh, I can hear your little bird in the background now.
yeah, Stu is happy. He's home. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And then you popped across to see Scott, didn't you, and Libby?
yeah. I went to see Scott McHewson, Paranormal in History, and we went to Loudon Kirk, and we also went to some cottages.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this guy has purchased cottages, quite historic for that area, and he is working to get them absolutely 100% correct to how they were.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, like the roofing, the beams have to be the right length.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
He's had things delayed because of the wrong
Mm-hmm.
length. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to so much detail, making sure that everything is right. He's so
Mm-hmm.
passionate about what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the UK, you get some developers in and they knock down the crooked pub, after this fire, and then you get
Mm-hmm.
people like this gentleman just trying to do
Mm-hmm.
the right thing by this building, and
Uh-huh.
it's just so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
We did do a little paranormal and history kind of. Three of them, they sort of did their bit, and me and Lois we sort of tried near the doorway because we were actually drawn to something there in one of the rooms. So I didn't get long there, unfortunately, because I had to get back campsite by 11 o'clock. Otherwise, you can't get your car on again. So
Oh dear.
no,
Oh dear.
but I've just found some fascinating places.
Uh-huh.
I really have, and yeah.
It's a shame the weather wasn't a wee bit nicer though.
Well, it was. I got blue skies every day.
Well, we didn't. You were lucky.
The fact
You
that
got
it
quite
rained.
a bit of rain though, didn't you, as well?
Oh yeah, rain and wind, wet tent every day. You know, I'm getting used to that. In fact, I'm trying to dry it now. But yeah. So, what sort of places do you like which are haunted in Scotland then?
Well, we like going around. We did used to, before they were all shutting down, we used to go to a fair amount of historic Scotland.
All right.
Abandoned places, and we were building up quite a good kind of rapport, particularly at Hales Castle down in East Lothian.
Yes.
We were going there quite regularly, and we got some amazing stuff there, But then, of course, pandemic came. Historic Scotland threw up a big metal fence around the place, and we've not been able to continue.
That's a shame because Hales, I had heard of that one.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. We actually think we got an EVP, American and Scots, speaking to us there.
Wow.
Because we were talking about Boswell, who married and blah, blah. And then she got carted off to, when she was arrested, and he ran away back to Denmark or Norway or whatever it was. And one of the questions I'd been asking was, do you miss him, or something like that, or how did you feel about the way he treated you, or something quite a personal nature. And it was only later, when Nicola was going through the audio, we had this female voice came through at the proper time saying, "I kiss him here."
Wow.
Female voice, clear as day. "I kiss him here."
Wow.
At the appropriate time. So
that's fantastic.
Nicola,
who's on your team, she specialises in EVPs.
Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's got a wonderful EVP ear. She hears everything. She's absolutely, she does all our processing, and she's amazing. I can't praise her highly enough. She's got one of the best EVP ears that you can ever hope to come across.
Wow.
And the patience that she has in processing everything. I don't think she feeds her family for a week or 2 weeks after an investigation. I think they get abandoned and have to look after themselves. Because every time you contact her, she says, I'm still processing. I've got 98 clips to go. I've got 143 clips to look at. I'm going, oh, well, I better not hold you up then. Come on.
Yeah.
But she's absolutely amazing. She's a credit to anybody that is fortunate enough to have them on the group. She's amazing.
That's fantastic.
Some of the voices that we have had have been real. The one that Nicola caught of me in Bannockburn House, years ago now, was quite incredible as well. Have you seen that clip at all?
No.
Did I not tell you about that? This must have been, it was kind of when I first met Nicola. So this must have been about 2016, 17, something like that. And I was at an investigation in Bannockburn House, and there's supposed to be allegedly the spirit of a gardener who's not a very nice man. He's a bit of a misogynist, and he's thought to have murdered and raped and blah blah some of the servant staff. Hi Elia, hi Liam, you too, Henry, you too. And he was kind of following us around the house, and I was sort of calling him a misogynist, this and that,
Yeah.
And at one point I started to feel a wee bit not quite right, and then we had a break. And during the break, there was another chappie there who's a German guy, Stefan, and he actually came to me and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Something's affecting you." He's a bit of a sensitive as well. And I hadn't said to anybody that I was feeling a wee bit funny. And then the break came to an end, and we went up to what's known as the nursery room. And it's a very big long room, and we were all in there. And we started the calling out again. And I just sort of mentioned, "You're just a misogynist, whatever, And then all of a sudden, I started to feel really, really bad. And I felt as if something was compressing me here and holding me, and I couldn't breathe. And I started to cough and retch, and not like that.
Yeah.
Really bad, really, really badly. And I felt like I was going to be sick. And as soon as I started to feel a wee bit ill, Nicola started to record. And it's only one time I've ever had to leave an investigation because I felt really, really bad
Wow.
and I couldn't breathe. And two people had to physically take me away to another part of the building. And it was okay after 20 minutes, it was good as new. But then Nicola processed this sound clip, and it's amazing because you can hear me going coughing and retching and saying, "Oh, I don't feel well, I don't feel, I think I'm going to be sick." And over that, she's picked up the CVP screaming in a very, very loud Robbie Crossan type voice,
All right.
a very Scottish loud male voice saying, "Get her, get the whore." Uh-huh.
Oh my
And
God.
it's in
Wow.
keeping time wise with the timeline of me feeling like somebody was.
Yeah. And then
It's on
just,
the page again. There's a short clip on the
oh
page.
yeah, sort of
And
share that
Nicola,
over,
Nicola
definitely.
caught that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's just fascinating what you can find when you do investigate.
Oh
Um,
yes.
it was a very strange circumstance for me because a few weeks ago I spoke to Tony Ferguson,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew he was going to Scotland, and I thought, well, I knew he was going in September, and yeah, I was going in September as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put a tent about Killeen, what is spelt Colzean.
Culzean. Culzean.
Yeah,
Culzean
and
Castle. That's a beautiful place.
oh, beautiful. He posted photos up of where he'd
Mm-hmm.
been and stuff. So I messaged him and says, "Oh, I'm there. I'm there at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. I'm camping." So when he was going around the castle, I was actually in the same. It's
In the
like a miniature
grounds.
park. So
Uh-huh.
I'm just the other side of some trees from where he was.
Uh-huh.
So he invited me out. So we actually went to explore some caves near Girvan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, fascinating. The thing is about Tony, his energy sort of attracts voices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm of the theory that whatever energy is around you, whether it's just a guide or something, it interacts with a certain type of equipment or something,
Mm-hmm.
like Nicola's voices and Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in this cave with Tony and his partner,
Mm-hmm.
and straight away I was hearing voices. I heard a person clear their throat, which was amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like we were getting stoned. You could hear stones being not thrown, but you could hear stones moving, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just us three in there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the sea outside, but it was just
Some
absolutely,
people just have a natural kind of energy about them that attracts
yeah. And
activity, though, don't
I
they?
think that's what happens, yeah. So like
Mm-hmm.
all night we were getting so much, and that's actually gone out onto his page as well.
That's
So
it. I'll have a look.
Ghost Whisperer Tony Ferguson. So if you
Mm-hmm.
check that, he's actually put two lots of footage out. As the first part, which is basically all of us investigating. And then what he did, he actually sorted it out. So each of us did a 5-minute lone vigil in the cave to see
Mm-hmm.
what we got. So my vigil's on, and as it is, and you hear the vigils, and at one time I was like freezing cold, but then I think there's a sound as well to confirm it, and it was just beautiful what we were getting, and
Mm-hmm.
very active as well. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many free locations as well in Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
aren't
Mm-hmm.
there?
Oh yes,
You know,
yes.
and it's safe. There's nobody else around.
Well, it depends what time of the day you go, of course.
Well, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
You'll get if you go to the touristy places. Obviously, you're going to have
oh yeah, you've got
you're going
the
to have a whole
touristy
bunch
places
of
where
people. Um,
where you
we
get
all
in.
we always find that when we're doing our little surreptitious investigations at places that don't exactly encourage it, like I said, we do tend to end up attracting quite a bit of attention, and
Yeah,
it's absolutely quite interesting and amazing because you think, oh no, people are going to laugh at us, they're going to, take the pee and we're going to get kicked out. But it's usually quite the opposite. They're saying, oh, really? Oh, how interesting. Oh, is it like, you like on the telly? Is this going to be on the No, it's not going to be on the telly. But people are usually quite interested. I went there once, some years ago now with Les. I don't know if Les, our friend Les Walton, I don't know if you're watching Les or not, to Tantallon, and we were getting similar activity in the same room. And we attracted this little group of people, and it ended up I was giving like a workshop on how to use the K2.
Oh, fascinating.
And everything. So they were all saying, oh, well, what does that do? And show me and do this. And I ended up with this little, like, a tour guide, and they're all follow the K2.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's quite amazing. People are genuinely interested when they do find out what you're doing, and it's, you do
right.
get, we've never once had a bad reaction from anybody when we've been out and about.
Yeah.
Like the little boys that were at.
Yeah, I was just going to get onto that. So you took us to the other side. So where you get Edinburgh, went right around the coast,
we went to Fife.
To Fife?
Yeah. To Fife. The Kingdom of Fife.
We went over the bridge to Fife, and we had Mark Warbank with us from Auckland and New Zealand. And wow, it's fascinating. He's just about to go back now. He's been touring for about a month, hasn't he? And
he's been there for quite some time,
It's a shame, all the locations he's been to.
Oh, he's been everywhere. He must be exhausted.
I know.
It's like wherever I lay my hat, he's in a different place every night practically. He must be absolutely shattered.
So we were so lucky to meet up with him, and we went to...
top guy. Mark is an absolute top guy.
He was fascinating.
You couldn't hope to meet anybody nicer. A nice guy, very knowledgeable, very respected, very erudite, knows his stuff. But it's so lovely. He's such a nice guy.
But that was an awesome day. So we went over to the churchyard there, didn't we?
Went to St. Bridget's in Dalgety Bay.
St. Bridget's, Dalgety Bay, yeah. And while we were there, these children, and it was their local playground, really. So they finished school and were just running around. And Nicola just asked them, we're just trying to do a bit of recording. Is it all right if you sort of be quiet? And they actually came over to
in a nice way.
In a very, 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 very nice way. They actually came over to us, and it's like all these young children were like asking questions. And it's so cool, wasn't it?
They were sweet little boys in the end. I got them to post it. Did you see the pictures I took of them?
Yeah.
They're all standing. It was like something. It was like that. Gosh, what's that very famous where they're going down the railway track? The American, all the little kids, all the wee boys together.
Sure. Yeah.
What's that film? But they're all only about 10-year-old and they're walking down the railway track. It was like, a schoolboy's growing of age film. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, they were all standing like this, and I thought, they're going to look back. And I said, do scary faces now. And they're all
yeah, because we asked them if they'd sort of experienced anything spooky. And it just said about doors being left open, didn't they? But probably...
They went away with a handful of badges and pens, so they were quite happy.
That's fantastic.
In fact, before we actually left there, and I called them back, and I got a handful of the Phantom Seeker pens and badges out, and they took them, and I gave them little cards, the little business cards. That's right, so you didn't know. I gave them the business cards. I said to one of them, are you on Facebook? And he said, my mum is. And this other wee smart kid, he said, I can get on Facebook. And he pulled out his smartphone. He said, I'm doing it now. What they called? And he said, look. They were all standing there looking at that. And of course, Nicola had told him about Matt. He said, see that man over there? He's that big famous Ghostbuster.
They loved it, didn't they? They were so respectful and so intrigued by it.
That was nice.
The questions were so sensible as well, weren't they? It was brilliant.
So they might even be looking now.
Yeah, that's right. You never know, do you? But they were just so lovely. And
it was a good day. It was a lovely day out. It was a really lovely day.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Blue Sky Day. And I can't believe I had so many blue sky days in Scotland. But oh my gosh, but just thank you so much. It's just
No, it's a
fascinating.
pleasure. It's a
Has anybody
pleasure.
got any questions about Scotland and haunted Scottish places? Have you been round? Well, obviously you know Greyfriars, won't you?
Uh-huh.
Been round
That was a
there?
little while because they've actually actively told people not to do anything in Greyfriars now. They've had quite a lot of trouble,
Yeah,
so they don't encourage anybody now.
yeah,
Although it doesn't stop people going in and do a wee sneaky bit, but they don't encourage like groups to go in or such like now. They've had
yeah.
quite, but it wasn't particularly with the paranormal groups. It was with they had an incident I think that really sealed the fate for Greyfriars. It was an American tourist I think actually had gone in and they actually um, stole one of the plaques off the wall. One of the memorial plaques. It was screwed to the wall. You know, a marker, a grave marker.
That's shocking. Unbelievable.
um, they disappeared, got pinched and taken away, and then they had cases where some of the stones had been pushed over, and just a bit of disrespect and disrespectful behaviour going on. And if they see people that are obviously
Yes.
kind of doing anything, you know, you can get hit with £1,000 fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah,
especially
but
because the few have spoiled it for the genuine people. You know.
yeah, that's right.
Mhm. But
It's
nevertheless, you know, it's open all the time. You can go in and have a look around. It's a very interesting place to go, you know. Have you not been?
no, I haven't been to Edinburgh.
Never. You've never been.
I have never been to Edinburgh. Like I got married, and it was a weird trip as well because I went to when I got married. I got married in 2003. I got married in a castle called Cumlongan Castle, and it's actually on the market January 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving home out of Scotland, and it said Clarencefeld 6 miles away. So I thought, right, I'm that close, I've got to go. So I got into Clarencefeld. There's a little private road which my car sort of turned down and carried on and carried on. And then I got to the end, and you could see the old castle where I got married at. It's got all barricades up,
Mm-hmm.
security. I just hope they're doing something with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few people on my Facebook who also got married there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think there were quite a few famous people got married
yeah,
there as well. It was quite a celebrity
well,
sort
I
of
got married in
venue, wasn't it?
2003. You know, quite before, you know, we found it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had internet in 2003, which a lot of people didn't. But my ex did IT, so we had our own desktop computer at home. So we booked our wedding through that, which was kind of really different at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't even know if a castle existed. It was all
Mm-hmm.
big, you know, because it was just
Mm-hmm.
unheard of to do it. You know, at that time, you actually physically go to a place, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you get the holidays abroad, and you get
Mm-hmm.
that sort of wedding as well. But yeah, it was just fascinating. It's just
Mm-hmm.
such a beautiful place and stunning grounds, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just a shame that it is closed. And I just
I think
hope.
it's the upkeep of these properties now, Jacqueline.
Oh gosh,
I
yeah.
mean, you often see popping up again on Facebook. It tends to come up of sort of castle type properties coming up for next to nothing.
Yeah,
You know, comparatively speaking, you could buy a big castle for the cost of a two-bedroom flat in London, sort of thing. You know,
yeah,
but it's not the purchase price; it's the issue. It's the upkeep and the maintenance
that's
of it.
right.
You
And
know, it's
obviously, with the
horrendous.
listed buildings as well, you're not allowed to do anything with them.
No, no, and you're obliged to keep maintain them at a certain standard and such like.
Yes,
So unless you've got like a bottomless pit of money, it's very few people can afford to. And the larger ones are now running as conference centres or hotels. You know,
yeah,
many of the
yeah.
larger castles. Although Inverary Castle is still a family home. That's
Right.
still home to the Campbells, and that's beautiful. If you ever get the chance to go to Inverary,
Uh,
Inverary Castle is still the clan seat for the Campbells, and it's
oh,
one of the few that is still lived in by by the family.
that's
It's absolutely
fantastic.
stunning. It's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful at Inverary.
I weren't far away from it at one stage because I saw a signpost for it. I'm
Uh-huh,
sure I
uh-huh.
did.
Well, it's quite difficult to get to because you kind of got to go right round, round the locks and everything to get down to it.
Yeah, I was going around the locks.
It's quite an arduous journey to get down to it, but it's
Yeah,
well worth going.
went right
I'm
along.
I'm going there next June. I'm meeting up
Oh,
with Justin.
oh, fascinating. That's
Uh-huh.
brilliant. Yeah.
I think there's about 50 of us
Oh,
from
that's
about
brilliant.
6 different groups that Justin's organised,
Oh, that's lovely.
and we're meeting up at Inverary in June. So that should be quite interesting. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to that because there's a whole host of different types of people there. I've never met Justin before.
yeah. I've been to about
Online.
three or four of his. So
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah,
And
but
he's got demonologists and
yeah,
mediums and a whole
oh, it's
hodgepodge of
fascinating.
different types of personalities. So a few witchy woos and things, I think. So
Yeah,
people, a hodgepodge, it would appear to be a hodgepodge of people with different takes on the paranormal, different lines
perhaps
of interest.
not.
So it's
Yeah,
going to be very interesting.
yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, Nicola's going in a motorhome. Awesome.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
going in the motorhome, Nicola? Uh-huh.
that's
Right.
brilliant. But
We're going to
yeah,
have to book. We're going to book somewhere for the evening and stay. We'll have to stay
yeah.
overnight because it's too far to come back.
It's great just to mix different energies, though, isn't it? And just
Oh
to see
yes.
how people
Uh-huh.
with different opinions work together.
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
we have got different views about things, and
Uh-huh.
that's fine.
Uh-huh.
But just go see what you can get, and if you learn something out of it, that's brilliant. If you get
If you
activity,
get nothing, you've had a good time out. You've met a few new people. You've had a bit of crack. You've enjoyed
yeah,
it.
that's
Share
right.
experience, share stories, and
Yeah,
it's just nice to go out and be with different people in different locations and meet
yeah,
up.
and
So
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that one because it's going to be quite different to
yeah,
everything that we've done
that's
before.
right. And to put
Although
faces to names as well, to actually
exactly,
meet
exactly.
friendly.
We've been to Inverary a number of times.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful place, Inverary. Even if you're not going to do any paranormal work, it's a beautiful place to go.
yeah,
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. Hope you're feeling a bit better as well, though, Nicola. I hope you're up to it.
Oh, bless you. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
But
you get good fish and chips in Inverary.
oh dear, oh God, that is my problem with Scotland. Where do you
Eating.
get food from? I couldn't find many places at all.
Well, you're supposed to keep your wee dagger in your ski and do.
Oh, is that it?
Uh-huh. Leap across that bubbling brook and get yourself a wee.
I am gutted because I went to near Perth Racecourse
Uh-huh. Oh, there's
and
not much that close there. Uh-huh.
and I missed the salmon jumping,
Oh, did you? Uh-huh.
salmon leap there, so I
Uh-huh.
missed that, which
Uh-huh.
is quite disappointing. So I would have
Uh-huh.
loved to have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I didn't even buy any salmon. I couldn't even buy salmon from Scotland.
Did
I
you
couldn't
not?
buy haggis from. No, I couldn't find anything.
Well, you're just not looking in the right places.
No, and even like Loch Ness is a little village. No, Glencoe. There's a little shop just around the corner from the campsite I go to in Glencoe. Last time it had everything, and like this time, it still had some nice things, but it didn't have haggis or salmon. I
Mm-hmm.
was absolutely gutted.
Oh,
But yeah, just got like urgent supplies. But
you
yeah,
should have just gone into the field and caught one.
yeah, I know. That's it, isn't it?
Get Rocky on the game. Go and catch a haggis.
Yeah. But I saw the
Well,
birds.
next year when you come, we'll have haggis and neeps and tarties.
That's cool then. So
Okay, there's a very, very good haggis maker.
this time
In,
next year, I'll be coming back from the trip, basically.
uh-huh. Well, there's a very,
Yeah,
very good haggis maker that's won lots of prizes in Musselburgh, so I'll get some
lovely. Yeah,
haggis.
yeah. It's just a fascinating. It's a fascinating country, and you just got so much variety. Yeah, I definitely want to go back. So if anyone does get a chance to go up to Scotland, there are loads of places to see and to find, really, and to explore.
Do you know, Jacqueline, it always tickles me when you get American visitors coming over. They say, I'm doing Scotland today.
Really?
Yeah,
2 days?
good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take a week and not cover Edinburgh alone. You know what I mean?
Well,
It depends how deep you want to go and what kind of places you want to see.
all
But,
I did, I just went up to Culloden and back. Like 14 days, you don't hit anything really.
No.
You know.
Well, we'll have a day in Edinburgh when you come over next year.
Oh, yeah,
Tommy can
definitely.
babysit Rocky, and we'll go in. We'll meet Nicola, and we'll have a day in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Show you the sights, but be prepared for climbing lots of steps and hills.
Shit. Yes, we love that.
And in the Edinburgh Old Town, it's all closes with steps. And
oh wow.
do you ever watch Rebus on the telly? Do you ever watch Inspector Rebus?
No.
Oh,
I don't
well,
watch TV.
he goes up all the wee closes
Oh
and
wow.
things.
I've stayed in Anstruther, which is 5, isn't it?
Oh, Anstruther's nice.
Yeah, I've stayed in Saladike.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the coastal route is beautiful because when we did sort of go that route,
all around that what they call the East Neuk of Fife. It's all the little fishing villages all the way around. It's a lovely area. Lots of lovely little villages all the way around. Next time you come, if it's nice, make all these plans. There's a place called Lower Largo, and that's where Robinson Crusoe was based on.
I went
So Alexander Selkirk. It's a lovely little spot. That's in the East
about that. I saw it on a sign. Yeah. I thought, oh, I recognise that, and I don't know why. But yeah, there's a lot of places.
But all along there's lots of beautiful little villages. It's really, really nice.
Yeah. So where is the most haunted place that you've been to in Scotland?
The most haunted place?
Where you think is the most haunted?
Where I've been as an investigator. I think Bannockburn House.
Really?
In Scotland. I think Bannockburn House probably. Yeah. And I think that might be because of my own personal experience.
Yeah, well, that's
maybe,
it.
Maybe other people may not agree with me, but it's because that's the only one place, like I said, I've been so physically affected that I had to leave. But strangely enough, Jedburgh Castle, I was there not long ago. We're going back in November. The last visit we were there, which must be about 2 months ago now, a similar thing happened in one of the cell blocks that I was quite badly affected as well. But not as badly as I was in Bannockburn.
Yeah, stayed at Jedburgh. That's a beautiful place.
It is. Did you go into the?
No, because the church was shut. So
into the castle and jail.
I couldn't because I have the dog.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, but I was going to go around the abbey, but said part of it was shut. So it's like, like I could see it from here.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
But it's like everywhere's been shut down, and it's gradually opening up, but they're opening up with restrictions. So I don't know how long it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
Alison.
Yeah, but it's certainly a place to sort of come and look round, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And so many places. Like last time I went to Scotland, I went to Dalkean. So basically, there's 2 castles. You've got the outer one, and then an inner one, which is like all fenced off. But the outer one, we got some interesting activity there, and even the dog sort of growled at something as well.
We're going up to in the end of October. Lynn, that you met from History and Horror Tours, she's invited myself and Tommy's going to go as well up to Castle Mingus. It's a huge big place. I've never been, so I'm looking forward to that. That's up past Perth.
Right,
I keep wanting to say Aberlady, but it's not Aberdeen. Aberfeldy. Near Aberfeldy. That's about 2 hours away from here. So we're going up. We've booked accommodation overnight. And when I phoned up this place, I think it's the only hotel in this village. It's like a large village. It's not a town. A little place. I think there's a man and a dog and a pub and a hotel, and a phone box with a library.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Anyway, I phoned up to say I would like a room, but just for one night, please. You're near Castle Mingus, aren't you? And she said, oh yes, that's only about 2 miles away, if that. I said, well, that's good. I'd like to book it. I think she said, oh, what brings you up here then? And I think she thought I was going to say a wedding,
Yeah,
we do weddings here. And I said, now don't laugh. I said, we're into the paranormal, and we're going up to investigate the castle. And I thought I would get, but no, she said, Well, I have just the room for you. I will give you our haunted room number 8.
Oh, wow.
I said, really? He said,
Excellent.
yes. She said, I don't normally tell people,
Yes,
but
obviously, yeah.
we have a room where so much going on. I said, well, have you witnessed? She said, every day, every day. She said,
Nice.
it's guaranteed that you will see something or hear something when you're in there.
Oh, that's absolutely
So I've
brilliant.
got a double-edged kind of
Yes,
goodie to look forward
haven't you
to.
just?
The hotel that
Yeah.
we're staying at and the investigation up in the castle. So I'm looking
Wow.
forward to that. I think that's my next arranged thing. Beyond that, we've got Jedburgh about, so we'll be
Yeah.
going to Jedburgh. But I'm looking forward to Castlemingus with Lynn and her husband Gary that you didn't meet.
Yeah.
They've asked us to actually go up. They're having a public event, and they're needing a bit of help because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a fundraising thing or not. I'm not quite sure, but I
Yeah.
think there's quite a few people going, so they need some help with the um, splitting the groups up and such like and taking them
Okay.
in. So I'm really looking forward to that. Of course,
Yeah.
Lynn's always great fun, and
That's good.
her husband Gary's lovely as well. So I'm looking forward to doing something with them.
Yeah, it is
That'll be
nice
nice.
just to meet people, isn't it, really? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and get on with them. It's just wonderful. And
I
yeah.
met Lynn and Gary through very peculiar circumstances as well.
All right.
I was going to Perth to see a show. I'd seen
Okay.
this shows during the festival time, and it was a Victoria Wood tribute sort of thing. It was very good at the festival,
Okay.
and he was coming back to do a bigger, 1.5 hour, 2 hour thing in one of the big theatres up in Perth. And so myself and my friend Tracy, we said, oh, we'll come up and see you. So we booked accommodation, we bought our tickets, booked our trains to go up to Perth. And the night before, the show was cancelled. So
Oh
I thought, well,
gosh.
we have the hotel booked, we've got our train booked, we'll go anyway. So we went across to Perth, not quite knowing what we would be doing because the show had been cancelled. I
Yeah.
thought, what are we going to do in Perth? So I googled things to do in Perth, and up comes a ghost walk. I thought, oh, well, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So I phoned this number up and I booked two places, and they tell me where to
Brilliant.
be. So it was quite dark by this time, and my friend Tracy and I, we went for something to eat, and she had a couple of glasses of wine, so in the dark, and we found this place where we're supposed to meet people. Well, we thought we had, but there was nobody else there. So I get on the phone, and of course it's Lynn that I'm phoning. I didn't know her then, and I said, we're booked onto this thing tonight, but there's nobody here, so I'm not sure if we're in the right place or not.
Oh, bless
And she
you.
said, no, you are. I said, well, there's nobody here. Who's coming? And she said, his name is Gary Knight. I said, well, what does he look like? And she said, you won't miss Gary. He's got a top hat on.
Oh,
And
bless you.
in the distance, all you could see, it was like Jack the Ripper on the telly. All you could see was this sort of figure coming through the gloom with this big cape on and a big hat.
Oh, wow.
It was like
Awesome.
Shadow Man in Perth. I thought, ooh, and that was Gary. And so, of course, he was very good, absolutely brilliant,
Oh, brilliant.
very
Yeah.
informative, very knowledgeable, but and fun. It was like a walking tour thing. I bet it was brilliant. It was really good. And of course, we got talking, and we realised that we knew a lot of people. And then, I thought, well, he's not just a man doing walking tours. They had this, they did investigations as well. And we spent a lot of time just chatting and blethering about the people that knew and what
Oh,
happened and such like.
yeah. It
And
can be
that's how we met.
yeah, it can be a small world though, can't it? As
Oh,
soon as you
very
get
much.
out into the community, you sort of meet people, and then they, of course, know somebody you know, and
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
it's brilliant. But
uh-huh,
yeah, it's just been fascinating, and I
uh-huh.
really want to thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, well, my
Uh,
pleasure. It's a
you know,
joy.
I think whenever I left anywhere in Scotland, I was just like gutted, really, to leave. Like I
Um,
went from one campsite, well, I went to 8 different locations.
mhm.
Was staying at 8 different campsites, and every time, pack up and go somewhere else, it was kind of so sad. But leaving you,
Oh, oh,
it was so beautiful to meet you two, and
oh,
the dog obviously loves
uh-huh,
Tommy to bits,
uh-huh.
and yeah, just thank you for your
Well, it was a joy. It
hospitality.
was an absolute pleasure. You know
Oh,
that you're welcome any time. When
thank you
that
so
bad
much.
weather came down, I was so worried about you, and I was hoping
God,
you were
I
going to come
know.
home.
I know, that was a bit ropey. That was when you like facing your tent is on like a ledge just above the sea.
Mhm.
The
And
wind's hit.
people are tying you to trees, you get a bit
Well, no,
worried.
that was the second issue I had. The
Mm.
first one was when I put it up at Rosemarket. It's getting the just the the wind off the
The
sea.
wind.
But then
Mm.
when I went to Killeen, that was the 49 miles an hour winds, and the tent was only up to, well, yeah, it wasn't fit to
A bit
do that.
scary.
Yeah, that is fine. Once two blokes sort of tied it to a tree, it's all good.
You're a
But yeah,
braver man than me, Gunga Din.
it's fine. I've done it. I've rebuilt tents before when they've blown
Uh-huh.
down.
Well, at least it's
Lost
not put
my
you off
stone.
coming back.
Yeah. No, oh God, no.
Oh,
No,
that's good.
I've had far ropier trips than that one,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
to be fair.
Oh, well, that's
Had to
good.
rebuild a tent before.
No, no. I think my days under canvas have gone.
Well, I struggled so much yesterday when I got home. I went to bed and it's rock hard. The bed
Uh,
was too solid. It's like I nearly
uh-huh.
had to inflate my airbed because I'm so
Uh-huh.
used to sleeping on
You've
an
got used to
airbed,
that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
which is like they always kind of
Uh-huh.
deflate to some
Uh-huh.
degree.
I like to get up
Yeah,
through the night and go to the bathroom
yeah, that
and
is
you
the
know,
issue. That
it's not quite
know,
so easy when you've got to put wellies on
no,
and
it's
look for somewhere to go.
and getting up off the airbed as well is getting
Uh-huh.
difficult. And
Uh-huh.
usually I do have a airbed what's like twice the height of a normal one, but
Mm-hmm.
with not having electricity some nights,
Uh-huh.
I didn't have
Pumping it
electric
up.
hook-up a lot of nights, so
Mm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
work so I only had the little one, so but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good time. I saw I
Uh-huh.
had a
Uh-huh.
lot of some beautiful photos and
Uh-huh. Oh, that's good.
I've got loads of footage to put up, and I've got
Uh-huh.
the interview with the guy from Loch Ness. I went to Skiing House as well,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
which was incredible. Yeah, it was nice to
Uh-huh.
see what they're doing there. I also went to the graveyard there as well, and
Uh-huh.
once again, the markings on the gravestones are fascinating.
Uh-huh.
And like all over Scotland, you've got these fascinating gravestones.
I never really gave that much thought, Kathleen, but I thought just think
Yeah,
everywhere was like that. But all
no,
over Scotland, it's quite common practice. The graveyards are very intricate, some of them. They're very
yeah,
interesting.
they
I like
are.
to go around the old ones, and when you walk around, you can work out the wee family ties, the
Mm,
wee stories on the headstones. You can, oh, well, she belonged to him, and that one belonged to that
yeah,
one. And you can work out. And very often in the older, it tells you what their occupation was as well. So
that's right. Yeah.
they give you
Now,
quite a lot of information.
right near me, I've got a church. If curtains weren't done, I'd just sit over there. And the gravestones have actually been moved. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
walkway, and they go either side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's basically two people who've actually done all the gravestones.
Mm-hmm.
And they've signed the signature on the gravestone they do. And
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of them have rhymes, and one of them says about somebody being killed by the Times mail coach. In those days, it was significant and it meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And like people go, "Oh my gosh, he got killed by that." To us, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
No,
But in the
it would have been a
1800s, that was
very big
a big
event
thing.
back in the day. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's right. And
Uh-huh.
you can learn so much. And
Uh-huh.
there's one of the things like, "Here you stand thee now, reading this, and it will be you soon."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, okay. But,
Uh-huh.
you
Uh-huh.
get, obviously, the wording, the terminology is a
Uh-huh.
lot better
Uh-huh.
than what
You
I
get
said.
quite a lot of that in the old Scottish cemeteries. You do get that
Yeah,
quite a lot. Quite
but
foreboding.
you don't see that much. My cemetery, you do, but a lot of them, obviously,
It
you've
must be
got
the
the
old
people,
Scottish
the age.
Presbyterianism or something, quite fire and brimstone type
Yeah,
epitaphs.
not sure, but like when I went into the graveyard opposite Skiing House, which obviously Crowley would have gone
Mm.
into and done some magic in there and everything. That's actually the Clan Fraser graveyard.
Uh-huh. Aye.
So, you've got all the sort of family links there, haven't you?
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't even realise, and you're going, oh, where's the Fraser? There's the Fraser.
Mhm.
And in the
Mhm.
end, you look at
Mhm.
Google, yeah, it's Fraser graveyard.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, it's just,
Oh, it's
it's
very tribal.
fascinating.
Scotland was very tribal.
Yeah, I
back in
didn't
the days.
realise.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
all very
yeah,
much so. Very, and you had one clan that wouldn't speak to the other clan. Of course, the McGregors and the Campbells.
yeah.
To this day, they won't.
To
You
this
know, still
day.
to
Oh
this day,
wow.
there are still Campbells and McGregors that will not talk to each other.
Oh my
Uh-huh,
gosh. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Because I watched. Oh, what was it with David Balfour? Was it Kidnapped or something?
Kidnapped. Well, that was at South
Yeah.
Shrewsbury. I pointed out the hotel, didn't I? Under the
God,
bridge.
of course you
Uh-huh,
did. Yeah, because I meant to get a photo of it. But
uh-huh,
yeah, you know, you got that, and that was all about clans as well,
mhm,
wasn't it?
mhm, mhm,
And you know, it just the Scottish history is so intriguing.
mhm. Quite
Yeah.
brutal.
Gosh, yeah, definitely. You know, it
Quite
was always
brutal.
fighting
I
among
don't think I would have
localities, wasn't it?
lasted long, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but yeah, and certainly know where we stood when you go to Culloden is like, oh, the English are buried over there somewhere,
Aye,
and then
aye.
you've got all the clans, you know, the gravestones of all the clans and
Aye.
everything. But
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
yeah, I'm glad I went, and yeah,
uh-huh.
it was. Yeah, there weren't many birds there or any. You know what I mean?
No,
It
no, there's
was.
not.
It
There's
was.
not.
Yeah,
There's not.
it was quiet.
But
But yeah.
there's still an awful lot for you to see, Jacqueline.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
A lot for you to see.
I have seen a lot of Scotland though.
Mm-hmm,
I've
mm-hmm,
stayed on Harris and toured Harris Lewis. I've been to
mm-hmm.
the Orkneys.
Oh, did you go to the Standing Stones?
Oh, Calanesia.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm,
Yeah, I've been. The standing stones there are fascinating. So
mm-hmm,
they're very much like Stonehenge, but they're better because the tourists don't go.
uh-huh,
So you've got the original markings on them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Whereas like Stonehenge is that one away
uh-huh,
because people go up like, oh look, I've touched
uh-huh,
it, you
uh-huh,
know.
uh-huh.
Whereas
Well,
Calanesia,
we have them nearby as well. We have them in Fife. They're actually we went there not
oh,
so long ago.
oh, I
There's
missed it.
a set of standing stones in the middle of a golf course
Oh,
in
okay.
Fife. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Oh,
But you're permitted to go in. I mean, we
oh,
went out.
okay.
We had a wee day out and about not
Oh,
so long ago, and
fascinating.
we
Yeah,
went there, and they're quite fascinating to look at as well. Uh-huh.
yeah.
In the middle of a golf course.
I went by Donald Trump's place.
Oh, did you?
I
Uh
went
huh.
through Turnberry, yeah, to get to
Uh huh.
Girvan on the A77, wasn't it? Yeah.
Uh huh. Uh
That was well lit up at night.
huh.
But yeah, but
Uh
yeah, it was strange
huh.
to see. It's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Mhm. Mm.
yeah, just fascinating place and definitely want to come back. But
Well, you'll have to
thanks for
come
the
back.
chat, Eileen. It's wonderful and thanks.
Well, it's my
Yeah,
pleasure. It's
it's
my
just
pleasure.
so lovely to speak
Listen,
to
you're
you.
always welcome. You're always very welcome. Chez moi.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
But yeah,
Anytime.
it's just a fascinating trip and I want to thank
Good.
you for
Well, I'm
that.
glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had a good experience. But I think, particularly the day, well, the 2 days that we had, because we had a day to ourselves, didn't we? But
Yeah,
out and about, the day that we had it with Mark and Nicola and Lynn, it was a fabulous day. I really enjoyed it. It was a really,
oh, it was wonderful.
it was a lovely
It
day.
was.
Did you
Yeah.
see my little reel that I made up? I searched for the nice music. It was a good day.
Oh, it's
That, the,
beautiful. Yeah, I
the,
love that.
the
Yeah.
piece of music that I found. And to me,
Yeah.
that piece of music, it was a good day. It was a very good day. And I thought, oh, how
It was.
appropriate this little bit of music is. And
Yeah.
it was just a lovely day. And it's one that I will think about quite often. And
Yeah, I will.
meeting those little boys as well, that was lovely.
I know, they were so.
So
Hey, here
sweet.
we go. We've got
Mhm.
Tony. Hey,
Oh, hello, Tony.
Tony.
Hello,
Oh,
Tony.
wow. I sort of mentioned what we did in Scotland, Tony, and it was just so fascinating. And I've also played an EVP I got on my phone.
Hmm.
And what did it say?
Get out.
Get out. So I've got get out on an EVP on my phone.
But not a
So,
Scottish voice.
no, it's a very English voice.
Mm.
So
So I wonder if that's somebody that came up with Tony.
they
Tell you
there
to
you go.
get out. Because
That's
it wasn't
weird.
a
Yeah,
Scottish voice, was it?
because Tony did hear a few get outs himself.
Ah,
Because Tony can sort of really
uh-huh.
hear the voices.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
yeah, I've got an EVP, so I'm dead chuffed about that.
Oh, well.
So I'm so excited. I haven't listened to the rest of the the recording. So I've got one EVP, so that is so cool.
You'll need
But
to take another month off work to analyse everything and go through all your
oh well,
photographs.
yeah, I know because I've got to go through. Like I had a quick scan of the photos, but I want to like put the photos up, do a bit of history on them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've also recorded footage as well, try and
Uh-huh.
get it out. And
And write another
yeah,
chapter for your book.
oh, God, don't even. Yeah, books. Yeah. We
Well,
need to
I've
sort.
got my name down on the waiting list for
Yeah,
one
I
of these
know.
days.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So Tony heard a mixture of English and Scottish voices.
Right. There was
So
certainly the one that Jacqueline played me back. Tony was an English voice. It wasn't Scottish.
see, I didn't even think
Uh-huh.
about that. I just
Uh-huh.
heard it, and yet you straight away said, "Oh, that's English." But
Uh-huh.
it was a damn good Get Out, wasn't it?
It was. It was. It was very good.
Yeah.
Very
Shout!
clear.
I don't know if I can try and play it. Let's see if we can try and get it on. Let's
Put it on
try
your
and
microphone again.
yeah. We oh yeah, I've got to
Uh-huh.
put it on the microphone, haven't we? So if I oh gosh, just like where is it? That's the problem. So I'll just try and play it, and then it's quite early into it, so it won't
Mhm.
take too long. So these were in the caves close to Girvan. I will put details. I've got some good photos as well, Tony. So, and when we actually met, we got a rainbow as well.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah, straight away. Right, okay. Let's see if you can hear this. So I don't know if you heard that, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Get
get out.
It
But
sounded
yeah,
like EastEnders. Get out of my
get
pub.
out. Yeah, but it's absolutely awesome. But
Oh,
yeah,
well, there you go. A
cheers
little
for
treasure.
that. So enjoy your rest of your trip, Tony. Anyway,
Oh, Tony's
um,
still up here.
yeah.
Uh,
And know, Jeanette, it is my awesome. It is my second ever EVP, and my first one I deleted by accident.
the
So
way you do.
So I don't even do anything with this one because what I'm going to do is try and grab it onto my laptop and save it in entirety and
Uh-huh.
sort of put it out there. But I'm
Send
so
it to
excited.
Nicola. Send the clip to Nicola.
I don't know how to do the clip. I don't know
Oh,
how to do it.
Jacqueline.
I know. I know. I was so excited to get that EVP. And that EVP was I was with Laurie Schaefer, MJ Dixon, and a couple of others at the Haunted Antiques. And I'd got this issue going off with a red wax covered box. And the EVP says, "Let me out." And I
Let me
deleted
out.
it. And
Was it in a
somebody
little Jack in the Box voice? Let me out.
And
Let me
somebody actually got footage of us doing that, but the footage isn't properly around anymore. But hey ho,
out.
it's the same. But yeah, it was recorded at the time. But yeah, but yeah. So I want to thank everyone for watching.
Mhm.
Eileen, thank you so much, and
Oh, my pleasure.
uh,
Anytime.
thank you to Eileen, to Scott, Paranormal and History,
Blueberry.
Tony. Lois Hadday, Nicola, everyone who I met. It was absolutely brilliant couple of weeks, really. And
Well, it was
yeah,
a great pleasure. It was so lovely to meet you after having spoken to you online for so long.
I know
It was
it was
lovely.
brilliant, wasn't it? So next week I'm going to be speaking to Mandy West, the paranormal historian.
Mhm.
So I gave her some really vague information because I'm getting I've got a massive link with my past life, which is why I'm struggling to get my book out. There's just something, just I don't know. There's just something within the story,
Mm.
and I don't know. It's kind of holding me off putting the book out. It's just how to do it because there's a massive story which I spent an hour telling Mandy West, the haunted historian, about after she managed to get some information on somebody who was in my past life. And if you write this full story in a book, everyone's going to think you're weird. And
Mhm.
it's just how to cover it in the book.
Mhm. Mhm.
And because it is, you publish a book, it's fair enough, like us telling each other stories,
Mhm.
but then you don't want to think, oh, there's that weirdo, do
Aye,
you?
aye.
Well,
Mhm.
we do
Well,
normal
but
stuff
then
here.
it's aimed at a niche market who will understand what you're talking
Yeah,
about. You know.
exactly,
You know.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to speaking to Mandy West. I'm actually out with the Wednesday lads on Saturday.
Mhm.
at Ashbourne Town Hall. I'm out on Friday night at Norwood with Haunted Heritage for friends there. And a week on Monday, I'm actually speaking to David Young, who I met at the Parafest in Skegness.
All right, right.
So, yeah, so I'm really got some great guests lined up,
Good.
and I'm going to be
Good.
so
Oh well,
busy.
I shall look in.
And Tony is at a haunted hospital.
Oh,
So thanks for listening in, Tony. Look after yourself.
okay.
But thanks for such an amazing night in Scotland, and
That's
I
okay,
can't
my
believe
dear.
that our paths actually crossed. That was just mad, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
How
That
you
was
were around the
amazing.
castle and I was like on the
Uh-huh.
grounds. So
You
yeah,
were there at the time. Uh-huh.
yeah. It covers a. You see, like I do a chapter on past life regression, and I mention it. Then I do an investigation at this place, and I mention it. But it's only more recently it's all kind of coming together, and I don't
Mm,
want to have to rewrite everything. So
mm,
it's,
mm,
and I think that,
yeah.
and I think there's one bit of information I need to find out, and I'm actually going back in October to the National Justice Museum again. So interested to see if he comes through and goes for me again because yeah,
Mhm.
he likes
Oh
that.
well, hope that goes
But
well.
yeah, okay. So thanks everyone for listening. Take care, and
Okay.
I've got some great guests lined up. And be
Bye night.
careful, be kind, be safe.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.